Hello everyone and welcome to the Hope Collective. Today I am recording group 3 or pile 3 for the pick a card that I have been posting the last few days, where I am asking our collective spirit guides what would be of the most benefit for each group to hear right now. What does each group need to hear most right now, and what would make the most difference for each group to hear right now? So because I've already recorded and posted groups 1 and group 2 in separate videos because of how long these readings have been, you'll find links to those groups in the description box if you are drawn to those piles. I chose cards intuitively from the Ostara Tarot deck for each pile. So pile 1 is the Strength card. Pile 2 is the King of Wands. And pile 3 for today's video is the Ace of Pentacles. So if you need to pause, do whatever you need to do to tune in and check in with yourself about which pile is calling to you, go ahead and do that, and I will see you at your reading. So if you are drawn to the Ace of Pentacles for group 3, welcome to your reading. I love this particular Ace of Pentacles. It's such a beautiful garden, such a beautiful collection of purples. And this humble mouse looks so happy and thrilled and in awe to be holding this pentacle. The posture that the mouse is in could be giving or receiving. But the feeling that I am getting looking at this today is definitely of receiving. The Ace of Pentacles symbolizes a new beginning on the material plane in terms of a new opportunity in money, work, or career, or in other material resources. Could be connections, could be other forms of resources that you can use. With the pentacles and the coins representing value, I also see the Ace of Pentacles as representing a new beginning in terms of self-worth, in terms of how you perceive your own value and how you offer that to the world and are willing to receive what you deserve for that. So there could definitely be a sense of offering with this pentacle and this mouse for you, depending on what resonates for you in that interpretation. Something that's happened for me recently that I want to share while I shuffle the Unfolding Path Tarot to get further into your reading is that I recently had a situation turn out in a way that was not how I desired. And it caused for me this upwelling, this uprising of energy inside myself saying, no, actually, I deserve better than this. And then not too long thereafter, I experienced a gift of an opportunity financially that affirmed for me my discovery of what I do really deserve. So for some of you, this could be representing something similar unfolding in your life as we speak, where you've been wrestling with a situation that has made you wonder, has cast self-doubt in your mind about, is this really reflective of what I deserve? And you're reaching a sort of breaking point with the dam bursting, you going, no, I don't care what anyone else in this situation says or thinks or does. This is not what I deserve. I deserve more. I deserve better. That breaking point being part of your journey into what you do truly deserve and being affirmed by a gift of an opportunity or a gift of money or a gift of resources that comes your way shortly after. So I'm shuffling the Unfolding Path Tarot so we can go deeper or get more messages, find out more about what this means for us. I'm actually going to shift this over here today. Let's see what this is. If the Lover is reversed, I am being told to take that reversal We have the Strength card. That's so interesting because the Strength card from the Ostara Tarot was the significator for pile 1. So you may also be drawn to pile 1. We have the Queen of Cups. Gorgeous. Definitely speaks to accepting what you deserve and no less, and receiving it. I especially love the lotus flower in the cup. That's really standing out to me today. It's a peachy pink and white color, that lotus flower, but it looks almost gold to me. And with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles both representing different types of opportunities and new beginnings, often I'm hearing this is a golden opportunity. This is a golden new beginning for you folks. I do have a specific spirit guide who's showing up today as I do this reading. Oh my goodness, Temperance. Look at that beautiful card. And I'm going to do my best to tune into the specific spirit guide as well as reading the cards. I love this. Wow. We've got 3 major arcana and a court card. And there's just an overwhelmingly positive feeling about the Temperance card here. She has these, or this figure, they have these hands in this peace signs. But the expression on this figure's face is giving me personally today this energy of like, peace out. Kind of an F this-ish, I'm out vibe, honestly. Like, I am leaving this situation for my own peace of mind, to protect my own peace. Rather than staying in the situation and trying to keep the peace here and starting a war inside myself to do that, I am vacating the premises and protecting my peace. Peace out, you all. I am done, and feeling really solid and grounded and relieved and proud of yourself. This spirit guide who's with us is telling you to give yourself a pat on the back for doing that. So I'm guessing many of you have just done this recently, potentially with more than one situation. I know that I personally have done that in more than one situation recently. Or potentially just for one situation that, and any number of those situations may have been very challenging for you and very difficult to walk away from. There may have been, I'm getting the feeling and the image of like these snares that were trying to sort of catch on your metaphorical wings and keep you feeling trapped, like, no, you have to stay, whether it's guilt or shame or obligation or duty, or a threat of consequences if you leave. That is a feeling that I'm getting quite strongly. And you going, actually, no, you can't keep me here, is extraordinarily powerful and important for you. And definitely, I'm getting a groundbreaking moment for you that really changes the course of your path, alters the potentials that are available to you, and upgrades the potentials that are available to you. I want to see what the Unfolding Path Tarot Guidebook says about Temperance to get their particular take on it. It says, for the keywords, moderation, balance, tranquility, blending, peace, alchemy, patience, and thoughtfulness. With alchemy, I'm definitely getting the sense of when you leave this situation, you are alchemizing and transmuting the burdens of this situation into like jet fuel under your feet, a jetpack propelling you forward. That moment of going, actually, no, I deserve better. And I'm going to do what it takes to put myself in situations where I have access to that instead of settling for where I'm at now. That moment alchemizes the things that have been holding you back into fuel that pushes you forward. And it alchemizes the burdens that have been causing distress and tension for you into your own internal peace when you leave them behind and you recognize the contrast between that state of being and the new peace that you find by leaving them behind. It becomes this reminder to appreciate your newfound peace more than perhaps you would have if you had not experienced that situation. And that transmutes and alchemizes the very things that were causing you distress into reasons for gratitude, which is amazing. The description for this card says, it's time to return to the middle. Where is there an imbalance in your life? Have you been overdoing it in one area and neglecting another? Being overly focused on one thing can have negative consequences. Now is the time to apply the magic of alchemy. Merge and blend your contrasting aspects, ideas, goals, and roles to bring harmony and peace. By mixing different talents, opinions, or desires, you can create something new and beautiful. Moderate yourself and with thoughtfulness and patience, walk the center path. Can you find a way to cooperate and compromise? And I'm getting the feeling that for many of you, having asked, can I find a way in this situation to cooperate and compromise, and having attempted that is actually what's pushing you to leave the situation, vacate the premises. Let's blow this popsicle stand, I'm hearing. Great reference for some of you who've seen some movies that have that line. So, yes, that realization of like, actually, I have tried everything that I can, healthily anyway, to create an atmosphere of cooperation and compromise. And it's not working. These folks aren't meeting me in the middle. So I'm going to go find people who will. And I'm not going to keep going past the middle and feeding into an imbalanced situation. These two cups here remind me of the Two of Cups with the way they're connected by this stream of water. And in the Two of Cups, we have symbolized two people, two hearts who are pouring into each other, just like these cups have this seemingly infinite stream of water that flows between them effortlessly. And perhaps that's not the situation you've been in. Also with the peace signs, I almost get the feeling of this figure having just thrown the cups in the air and going, you know what? This is not my circus. These are not my monkeys. These are not my plates to juggle and keep in the air. I'm going to let them drop. Peace out. And I think that's a very appropriate response to your situation if this is resonating with you. And again, I'm getting that pat on the back from our spirit guide who's with us. With the Queen of Cups next to this, I wanted to mention earlier that these irises are a similar sort of pale orange color to this lotus, and both of them being almost golden is really resonating with me about the golden opportunities available to you, the new opportunities that will be possible to bloom in the future based on you altering your course to swerve out of the way of these dynamics that you've felt trapped in or stuck with. That's one message here. But the other thing that's coming to mind with the Queen of Cups being next to the Temperance card, cups are the element of water in the tarot, and the Queen of Cups is often seen as being in kind of her personal paradise. She's reached a level of emotional fulfillment where it's kind of like the world is your oyster, but I'm getting this, I'm channeling this energetic feeling, almost atmosphere of swimming in the ocean with that water element from the cups, feeling deeply at peace and like the whole ocean is available to me. So it's as if I'm in the Queen of Cups position or role or place within her ocean, and feeling this tremendous zoomed out sense of the bigger picture and this tremendous sense of peace and contentment within that, where I really feel how all of the resources within this ocean are available to me. Definitely part of the message here is there are other fish in the sea. You might be in a position where kind of like, should I really have left this situation? Or should I really leave this situation that I'm contemplating leaving? I'm worried that I'll end up even worse off than I am. And this sense that I'm getting, this message I'm getting from the Queen of Cups is definitely there are other better fish in the sea. Zoom out. This is a big, wide ocean of possibilities, resources, abundant opportunities. You will be surprised once you actually start swimming around this sea and leaving where it is that you have been stuck. You'll be surprised how many opportunities there are, how much better they are, and how little you were settling for. We can forget that when we've been in a situation for a little while. We get a little bit tunnel visioned in on that situation and forget how different the environs outside of that enclosure are. And there is a possibility for much, much more satisfaction, satiation even, than your circumstances have led you to believe. And it is very powerful for you to step into the awareness that you do actually deserve that. And this is flowing for me from right to left here, where I'm flowing back to the strength, where it is, for some of you, going to take or has taken some strength to leave this situation or to say goodbye to what you have left behind. Very strong theme in all three readings of leaving something behind, whether it's a way of being or a situation. And that takes a great deal of strength. And those of you who have already done this, or who are even considering it, are really being applauded for that strength. In the Strength card in the tarot, we have a feminine figure who is cooperating with a lion, perhaps has tamed the lion, perhaps is merely able to have a relationship of communication and mutual respect without either person being tamed or domesticated. But because of that, the Strength card is universally seen as a message of the type of strength that does not roar, that is quieter and gentler rather than forcing itself on a situation. And I believe that speaks to how you are protecting your peace by leaving a situation where no matter how loudly you roared, your input was not looked upon kindly, was not accepted truly and fully integrated into the situation. Your input was not truly respected. I'm really being drawn to the infinity symbol here and that idea of communication and mutual respect, especially with the temperance also representing that balance and that infinite mutual flow of giving and receiving, communication, balanced meeting in the middle in discussions and in workplaces, whatever the case may be, in families, I just heard. So there is, with the Strength card, a recognition of the strength it takes to actually say, I'm not going to show up to this fight that you continue to invite me to. I see how the outcome has either been the same or not changed very much, no matter what path I try to choose to try to meet you in the middle, to try to find cooperation and compromise, to try to explain myself. And instead of continuing to wear myself out or falling into a trap of trying to assert my strength or my will in a way that just feels forceful and exhausting, I'm actually going to preserve my strength and show my strength by forging a new path. I just got this image of, like, for some of you, you're maybe in a situation where you do not have to completely leave the bigger picture of the situation in order to leave this dynamic within the situation. So, an example that could apply to some people is moving departments at work. The company may not be detrimental for you to work for, but your department might be detrimental for you to work for. Or within a family situation, you may be able to move out of a living situation where you've been living with some family, but still preserve contact with the family, but have a less involved relationship with them. So for some of you, there is some creative thinking involved. Maybe you have certain friends, and it's not serving you to be so deeply involved with those friends anymore, but you can maintain some relationship to them that is to mutual benefit, but it can't look the same way that it did before. I'm actually getting this image of like there being a friend group or a workplace group, and there being one sort of bad apple that needs to get cut out of the group for the rest to thrive. And I'm not sure what that would look like for you folks. You can hear the dog in the room. I'm not sure what that would look like for each of you, but for some of you, there may be some creative wrangling of the situation that can happen where it's not quite as cut and dry as I'm just walking away. But you are eliminating some part of the situation that is not workable instead of continuing to try to work with that part. You're accepting that that part of the situation is not workable, and by so doing, you might be, as we talked about before, alchemizing and transmuting the situation so that you can capitalize on the parts of it that are workable. The Lovers is a card that speaks to choices and commitments, it being a major arcana, usually significant ones. And it being in reverse does reflect that there have been some choices and commitments that maybe have been made unconsciously. And I'm getting also like choosing to turn away from some paths that maybe you thought you had to go down. And the new doors will open to you from there. I'm going to see if more layers of depth come from the Lovers card as we go on. With this embrace that these two figures are almost locked in, I am getting the feeling of, for some of you, this situation, there is like this, this magnetism, this tension that makes it feel like it's pulling you back in, and it takes some deep breaths to let go of this grip and walk away and kind of steel yourself to do so. That's one layer of meaning that's coming through for me energetically already. But I want to pull some of the Shadowscapes Tarot for more messages to clarify the cards we already have and keep getting deeper on what it is. Spirit guides, please, that this... Well, that's interesting. Is that meant to be reversed? No, that's meant to be upright. Okay. The Ace of Pentacles came out of the Shadowscapes Tarot as well. I always need to hold these cards up to the screen because they are so intricate. So beautiful. Oh my gosh. Look at all that green and gold. Very healing and vibrant spring and summer-like energies from that Ace of Pentacles. I kind of want to center things a little more for now and see how it goes from there. I know the lighting washes out some of these cards a little, so I appreciate you folks bearing with this setting today. Okay, let's see. Okay, this one's coming out immediately as well. The Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords speaks to feeling trapped mentally, and to discovering that you are able to free yourself, like a bird who is in a cage, but the door is actually open, discovering that the door has been open all along or has not been locked all along, that sort of thing. We often see figures who are tied up by ribbons in the Eight of Swords where, okay, the ribbons would actually be pretty easy to shed, but there's this mental construct, this learned helplessness that needs to be shed in order for the figure in the card to realize that. In this card, we see this swan whose wings are working, the swords are not pinning them down, but there's this feeling of enclosure and these thorny vines enclosing the swan. And there's this hummingbird floating free, radiating light, and with a beautiful red heart on the hummingbird's chest. And the swan is looking up to that light, and it feels beyond the swan at this moment in time. But with the right maneuvering, the swan will be able to free themselves from these thorns with minimal damage and be able to fly away. So I think that represents your situation quite beautifully. And for some of you, there may be a guiding light that is helping you that is shining on your path, helping you see the path out of your entanglement here. I'm hearing look for the light for many of you. That's something that our spirit guides are saying here. Spirit guide, the one I mentioned before, is saying, look for that light. Don't keep your head down. Look up. Look all around you. That was part of the expansive sense of the ocean I was getting with the Queen of Cups. There's like this 360-degree awareness that comes from being in the water. Look all around you. Look up. Don't just keep your head down and focused in your current situation. Don't blind yourself to the possibilities that way, especially with this coming out below the Lovers reversed, which can speak to, as I said, choices that have been made somewhat blindly or unconsciously from unconscious motivations. There might already be some sort of guiding light, mentor, resource available that you simply haven't noticed or have maybe dismissed. Like, oh, that's just a hummingbird. Their situation's completely different from mine. I couldn't possibly follow in their footsteps. Take a second look if there is anything like that that you have dismissed. You have the High Priestess in reverse. And with the High Priestess having come out in reverse, I do believe that's reflecting that there have been some areas, particularly with what we were just discussing, where maybe you have not trusted an intuitive nudge that you got, and it is time for you to do so, to see beyond those veils. The High Priestess has the pomegranate representing Persephone, the owl representing Athena-like wisdom, and also representing the eyesight that birds of prey tend to have, where they're able to see very keenly from a bird's eye view, see lots of little details in the scene below them while still seeing the bigger picture. So yes, zoom out, review the bigger picture, and look with your owl laser eyes for the little details that you may have missed when you thought you went over it before, or did go over it before. I'm going to shuffle a little more here. Okay. We have the Queen of Wands. I find that fascinating since the King of Wands was the significator in group 2. I love this particular Queen of Wands because of this harp that she's playing. It's just so gorgeous. We have the Queen of Wands figure with these ram-like horns, and we have a bird perched on top of this tree branch that's shaped into a harp with all these strings along it. And we have these cozied up foxes and birds kind of gazing on lovingly, enjoying the music. Wands are the element of fire and represent a lot of passion in the tarot, but there's such a peaceful passion, a peaceful expression of passion in this card, with expressing, this passionate music through peacefully playing a harp, especially a harp that is on a living tree. There's no trees were harmed in the making of this harp. It looks almost magical with the way there are these little green orbs sprouting from the branch of the tree that formed the harp. And there's this full moon-like imagery with the little cozy home these foxes are in. And the full moon represents shedding as well. It represents letting go of a cycle that has come to its natural close, releasing so that you can move into the new. Let's see, and this figure also, I didn't even notice at first, but also has wings on their back, on her back. So also hearkening back to the swan and the wings in the High Priestess, where you can fly above your situation, see it more objectively, see it. When you look at the bigger picture, I'm being told by our spirit guide here, details will jump out at you that you didn't notice before. You're so lasered in to the specific parts of this situation that have been causing you to feel stuck that, no, I do want to put that upright even though it came out. I'm being guided to put it upright because you're in the process of turning it from reverse to upright by tapping into your intuition, seeking guidance, looking at the bigger picture, seeing through the veils. So yes, I'm being told that You're so zoomed in and lasered in on certain details of your situation that have been making you feel stuck, making you feel bad. And when you do, yes, exactly. And when you do zoom out to the bigger picture, different details are going to jump out at you that will surprise you. You might, I'm hearing that some of you think, no, there's nothing I could possibly have overlooked. And for some of you, it may not be something in this situation that you've overlooked, but an opportunity outside of this situation that has been outside your field of vision. But for some of you, it is a detail in this situation or several. Thanks for bearing with our Greek chorus here in the background today. Okay, I want to get one more card from the Shadow Escapes Tarot. With the queens coming out together, and then both being this, the Queen of Cups is sitting so confidently, and has such an expansive lease on life. And then the Queen of Wands, as we spoke about, is expressing passion so peacefully. These really sit well together with the strength and temperance energies we discussed earlier, where you are, by grounding into a bigger picture source of peace, you are stepping into the confidence that this Queen of Wands shows, the type of confidence that, I was trying to say the confidence that this Queen of Cups is showing, because this Queen of Cups on this deck, it looks like very much like, you really want to come at me? You really want to come try me, in my opinion. And the Queen of Wands and the Strength, the Temperance figure is sharing that, you really want to try me right now? Go ahead. It's not going to work. It's not going to go well for you. And the Queen of Wands and the Strength are showing this just deep peace, where you really don't have to show up to the battle just because you were invited. You really don't have to make a big show of, storming out and declaring how much better off you are, and whatever the case may be in your particular situation. You're going to really create such confidence for yourself by tapping into that, actually, I can kind of do my own thing and mind my own business, and nobody can stop me, actually. And I don't need to go looking for confrontations with people who I know wish they could stop me. I don't need to go proving myself to them. I can just, stay in my lane and do my own thing and not mess with those vibes, not mess with those people or forces. I'm getting the Seven of Swords. It came out in reverse, which is very interesting, but I want to show you the picture. Okay, I love this because the swan in this picture is flying away. And that is the main message that I'm getting from this card here. The swan actually flying away into a new dawn, despite the sneaky people who would try to... The Seven of Swords. I'm so sorry. I'm getting distracted by our Greek chorus here. The Seven of Swords is a card of deceptive forces, sneaky deceptive forces that would maybe try to steal your light in this context, steal your freedom in this context, steal your peace of mind. People thinking they can get away with something, and sometimes succeeding and sometimes not. With the Seven of Swords having come out in reversed, I think you are turning a corner at the time that you listen to this reading, and the people who think they're going to pull one over on you are going to be like, wait a second, I went to go, do this sneaky thing, and my pile threes weren't even there anymore. They had flown the coop, and they're going to be left kind of like with their jaw dropped, like, I was waiting for my dramatic moment and I'm not going to get it now. And they're just left shell-shocked by that. And you're flying off happily in your own lane into the sunlight. There's that old meme about someone being like moisturized and in my own lane and thriving. I don't remember the rest of the meme, but that's coming through. That's going to be you. All these other people are like, wait, where's the person that I used to be able to provoke and start drama with and be able to feed off of their energy that way? I was able to siphon their energy that way, and now I no longer can. So definitely be wary of any folks who might be embodying that type of energy in your life. And know that depriving them of the ability to siphon your energy is like the biggest victory at this moment, and then is going to lead to, full circle, your Ace of Pentacles, your golden new opportunities, your new foundation, where your energy gets to be grounded and feed yourself rather than being siphoned away to feed drama starters. That is really the heart of the new beginning that's on the other side of this ending for you, is getting in touch with your own source, becoming your own source, and getting in touch with your higher self, source, God, the universe, and those passions that really feed you, and allow your cups to be perpetually full rather than having them, get kind of spilled and drained away. Are there any other messages from these cards, Spirit? I'm getting a sense of completion here, and this has been an incredible message already, but I do want to get a few more messages before we end it. Which cards do we want to use next, Spirit? Okay, we're going to draw some from the Tea Leaf Oracle. That's probably going to be how we close out. I don't like to say never with readings, because you never know what Spirit will guide you to do next. Spirit guides, please make me aware of anything else that you want me to bring through for this collective today. We're going to draw from the Tea Leaf Oracle to bring through what I believe will be our final messages. What would be of most benefit for our group threes to hear today? Are those really coming out right away? Okay. Is that 3 or 4? Okay. So 4 just leaped out right away. So we have tankard, celebration, fun, enjoyment. Target, a goal-oriented person. Teapot, deep friendship with someone of the same sex. And teardrops, great personal sorrow. Okay. So this does reflect to me how it is very challenging for many of you. For many of you, this is a very personal situation, and it is very challenging to leave, but on the other side of leaving, you have this energy of staying in your lane, keeping your eyes on the target, keeping your eyes on the prize, and that focus and kind of blocking out all the distractions and drama, creating space for you to have this kick back and relax, celebration, fun, and enjoyment. And we spoke earlier to how there are some relationships from this situation that you can salvage for some of you. For others of you, there are guiding lights in your life outside of this situation, and that friendship might be a pillar of strength that you draw on. And I love the teapot and the tankard, because it's like 2 very different types of beverages that we do share with friends to celebrate, but we also, over tea and drinks, also sometimes shed tears and vent and like just kind of having this dump of feelings so that we can sort through them, empty the purse out on the table and sort through the contents so that we can reach clarity and discover what is it that my focus needs to be on? What are the distractions I need to block out? How am I going to move forward next? Let me empty out the chest and find out what's next. So if you do have a friend that comes to mind as someone you can vent with, or another person in your life, a coworker, a family member, a mentor, an aunt and uncle is coming through. It could even be a teacher or a professor for some of you. If you do have someone in your life like that you could go get tea with or drinks with and have that type of session where you're like, I just need to get this off my chest. And hey, you can do the same as well if you need to, perhaps. For some of you, that is your next step, is to go air out these concerns and feelings that you have and map out your next steps from there. It might be that you know exactly what you need to do, but you just need to get these feelings off your chest so that you can let go of the hooks this situation has in you and really step into readiness to move on. You might never feel ready, but you might need to step into a place of acceptance to move on and just let those hooks fall away and heal those wounds. I'm getting a really strong message about the readiness thing. Like, don't wait until you feel ready. If this situation has its hooks in you, if you've been feeling really stuck in it, you're not going to feel ready. And that's part of what many of you need to accept in order to go, yeah, okay, I don't feel ready, but I know this isn't working, and I know I deserve better. And because I know I deserve better, I am taking the leap of faith to believe that there is better out there. And you are, as we said before, going to be very pleasantly surprised about that. What else, Spirit? What else are we getting from the Tea Leaf Oracle? What else? What would be of benefit for this pile to hear? What do they need to know? What would make the most difference for them right now? Is it these two? These three? These three? All three of them? Any others? Okay. Yes, baby. Okay, so we have Owl. I love that, since we had the Owl in the... I forgot for a second, the High Priestess card. Good advice from a wise person. So many of you do have this sort of guiding light in your life. I'm being told that for some of you that good advice is this reading, but many of you do also have either an actual external person in your life that has maybe already been trying to tell you, like, hey, you don't have to put up with this anymore. I don't know why you do. Or someone you could reach out to now. And for some of you, this is actually talking about yourself, your own intuition, and also your spirit guides, with the High Priestess especially being what is echoed here. The High Priestess is all about getting in touch with spirit and your intuition and your gut feelings and instincts, and heeding them, following their advice. That level of higher wisdom. So for some of you, that wise person is yourself, and a huge part of this confidence we've been talking about stepping into and accepting that you deserve better is recognizing, like, actually, I can trust my own counsel. Actually, I can believe in myself. Actually, even if everyone else in this situation says something different, if I've really kicked the tires of my own beliefs and thoughts and feelings, I can actually choose to act in alignment with them instead of in alignment with what everyone else in this situation is pressuring me to do. Chair filled, someone new is entering your life. I love that. For some of you, that's part of the new resources and opportunities that are coming your way on the other side of this. For some of you, this is related to this deep friendship and this wise person and celebration, like someone you can really talk to, get advice from, someone you actually trust. There's that saying, never accept criticism from someone you wouldn't go to for advice. For some of you, that's guidance about your current situation. And for some of you, that's going to be the type of person that's coming into your life, is someone that you can go to for advice, and who, as part of that advice, will also give you very real feedback without it being about picking at you and tearing you down like it may have been in this situation you're leaving, or feeding off of your energy, starting drama. I promise you, by the way, this dog is actually completely fine. There's nothing wrong. They're not hurt. They just want to go for another walk, even though we just went for a walk before I sat down to record this. So I promise you, I'm not hiding a creature who is in pain to make those howls off screen. If you've ever lived with a husky, you know exactly what I mean. Valley. Deep personal strength and peace that assures success. 100%. Yes, yes, yes. This is exactly what we've been talking about. with Strength, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Temperance card, this is exactly the energy. Exactly the energy. If there was one message in your reading, it would be this one. And this red sun even looks like the Pentacle and the Ace of Pentacles to me. Follow that internal light. And there's also a deep sense, as we talked about, of getting to sit back in your life and not have to be on all the time and feel drained and like you're constantly trying to catch up all the time, because you'll be free of these draining influences in your life. The valleys are often in nature places of very fertile soil, very nourished by the runoff of rainfall and snowfall from the mountains. So there's definitely the energy of actually stepping into being available to receive what you deserve, instead of insisting on trying to make a situation work that is not giving you what you deserve, and therefore kind of keeping yourself in the vibration of like, I don't really quite believe I deserve that. I don't really quite believe it's actually out there for me to receive, even if I do deserve it. No more of that. I'm going to be able to really soak things in, just like the Queen of Cups. And with the tankard, really enjoy that. I'm getting that there are a few more messages in the tea leaves for us. Is there something else, Spirit, that you're also wanting me to just channel here? We have bridge, successfully overcoming a problem. Definitely a wonderful forecast for you. Getting bridge over troubled waters. Very much confirming what we saw with the swan, getting to actually rise above the situation. And this speaks to how some of you may be creating bridges and some of you may be burning them, and some of you may be doing both, where you are, like we said before, alchemizing this situation. There may actually be, although there may be some bridges burned by leaving a situation behind, for many of you, this is actually more about building a bridge over the moat that's been keeping you in the palace you don't want to be stuck in anymore, or outside of the palace you want to get into. You don't really, for a lot of you, you don't actually have to set fire to the old bridges. You just have to stop crossing them and either notice or create the bridge to the new territory that you have not realized was accessible and available to you. Any other messages, Spirit? No, they're saying that's a wrap. Any last cards we want to bring through? All right. I get so into the stream that it catches me off guard when we're done with a reading. I'm like, oh, that's it? Oh, okay. So thank you so much for being here, group 3. I'm very excited for your new beginnings. I'm really curious if some messages about those new beginnings are going to actually unfold in future readings for our collective. So definitely like and subscribe if this has been useful to you, and if you want to see future messages that might continue to help be guideposts as you forge this new path ahead for you. I'm so excited for you. And I applaud you for the strength and grit and determination that you are showing in alchemizing or leaving this situation and recognizing what you deserve. Thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful week.